Namaste, myself Geetu Srikumar. In the last few videos, we discussed about real numbers. In this video, we will discuss about polynomials. It is the second chapter in 10th standard CBSE. Before going to the topic, we can look some basics which we need to solve problems in this chapter. First, we will look laws of powers. I will show you. This is the basic form which a number is having a power. Now there are some laws in this. For example, a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. That is, base numbers should be same, and if powers are different, their product, that is a raised to m into a raised to n, we get the answer a raised to m plus n. Now, if it was like this, a raised to m into b raised to n, then the answer is simply a raised to n, b raised to n. We can't multiply these two numbers. Now, if it is a raised to m divided by a raised to n, then it is a raised to m by a raised to n, which the answer is a raised to m minus n. Here, we are adding the powers while it was multiplication. And in the case of division, we are subtracting the powers. Now, if it was a raised to m by b raised to n, the answer is a raised to m, b raised to n. We can't do this method if the base numbers are different. Now, a raised to m plus a raised to n. Here, the answer is a raised to m plus a raised to n itself. You can't add this. In addition, if it is like this, a raised to m plus a raised to m, then you can write it as 2a raised to m, because here are 1. Or if it was like this, 2a raised to m plus 3a raised to m, then the answer is 5a raised to m. But if it is 2a raised to m plus 3a raised to n, then you can't write it as 5a raised to m plus n or like that. Simply the answer is 2a raised to m plus 3a raised to n. You can't add this. This is the answer. But while it was like this, a raised to m and a raised to m, then you can add these two constant numbers along with that. That is 5a raised to m. Also, same in the subtraction, a raised to m minus a raised to n is a raised to m minus a raised to n itself. Now, if it was 3a raised to m minus 2a raised to m, then the answer is here this base variable and the powers are same here. So, you can subtract these numbers, that is 1a raised to m. Now, if it is a raised to m plus b raised to m or 3a raised to m plus 2b raised to m, you can add this. The powers are same here, but these variables are different here. So this is the answer. Now, a raised to 0 or x raised to 0 or any number raised to 0, all the answer is 1. Now, root x means x raised to 1 by 2. Next, 1 by x is equal to x raised to minus 1. These are all basics which we learned in the earlier classes. Now, next we go to integers operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in integers. Positive plus positive number is a positive number. Now, negative number plus negative, the answer will be a negative number. If positive number and a negative number is added, then you have to subtract the smallest number from the greatest number and you want to put the sign of the greatest number. Now in the case of subtraction, that is a positive number minus a negative number, then this is equal to positive, this subtraction you want to change it into addition. Then if you are changing the sign here, here also the second number is also changing its sign. So this negative becomes positive, and here you can use this law, that is positive plus positive, answer is positive. Now if it was negative minus negative number, then again it becomes negative, the subtraction changes to addition, and this number sign is changed, that is negative becomes positive. Here you want to use this law, that is one is negative and other is positive, so subtract the smallest number from the greatest number and then put the sign of the greater number. Now if it is positive number minus a negative number, again positive number, the subtraction becomes addition and the sign is changed, then positive. Two positives, we will get a positive answer. Now negative number minus a positive number, again whenever you find the subtraction you must change it into addition. So negative, this becomes addition. If it becomes addition, here the sign must be additive inverse, that is if it is positive it becomes negative, if it is negative then it will change to positive. Here it is positive, so it becomes negative here. Here this is the law, like that. And you know, additive inverse means a positive number's additive inverse is negative, that is this is a positive number and its additive inverse will be minus a, that is negative a. Now negative a's additive inverse will be positive a. Negative 1 by 2, the additive inverse is positive 1 by 2. Positive 3 by 5, the additive inverse is negative 3 by 5, like that. Now what about the reciprocal? If a by b is a fraction, then the reciprocal of it is b by a. Now simply 8, the reciprocal is 1 by 8. 2 by 7, the reciprocal is 7 by 2. These are all some basics. Next we can move to the topic polynomials. Polynomials, what is the word meaning? Poly means many and nomial means terms. That is combination of so many terms. And we get so many types of polynomials based on the degree and number of terms. Before that we will check what is a term. Here 3 into x into y into z. Here all are multiplication. And if it is multiplication, we can't differentiate it as terms. It is simply one term. Here there is 3x plus y plus z. Here you will get first term, second term and third term. And here first term and second term. Simply like this. This, if it is given like this, this is a single term. Now if it was an addition here, now you can say this is first term and this is second term. Also, this is also possible in the case of subtraction. Here this is the first term and this is the second term, but not in the case of multiplication. In multiplication, you can't say there are so many terms, that is all a single term. Here in addition and subtraction, we can say there are terms before and after the sign of addition and subtraction. Now in this chapter, we want to know about the addition and subtraction done in between two polynomials. I will show you examples. 3x square plus 6 plus 2x you want to add it with 5x cube plus 4. Now, first you want to rearrange in the descending order, that is biggest power, then say coming to the next lowest power like that. So first here in this polynomial you have the biggest power as x square, so first you write x square, then this is the power 1, that because x simply means x raised to 1, so 2x raised to 1 plus, if it is in the descending order, after x raised to 1 we will get x raised to 0. Here we have 6 here. Actually along with this constant there is a variable, because it is any number raised to 0 is 1. X raised to 0 is 1. So 6x raised to 0 means 6 into 1, which is 6. That is why here we can't see the variable part, only the constant part. Now writing down 5x cube, that we can't write under this x square term. We want to write here 5x cube. You can't see the x square term and x term in this polynomial. So you will write it as 0x square plus 0x. You can't find those terms. Now plus 4. Constant is written under the constant of the previous polynomial. Now you can add 5x cube plus 3 plus 0, that is 3x square, 2 plus 0, 2x square, 2x raised to 1 plus 6 plus 4, 10. This is how we do the addition. In the case of subtraction, if it was subtraction, if the number was, or the polynomial was like this, 3x cube plus 2x square minus 7x plus 3, and the second polynomial 2x cube minus 3x square minus 8x plus 2. If you want to subtract it, first you want to change it into addition, then change the sign of each terms in the second polynomial. Here these are all terms. Now changing the sign before that, this 2x cube becomes minus 2x cube. This minus 3x square becomes plus 3x square. This minus 8x becomes plus 8x. This plus 2 becomes minus 2. So these are the new signs here. Now you can do the addition. 3 plus minus 2. What is 3 plus minus 2? This is a positive number and this is a negative number. So you will subtract smaller number from the bigger number and you want to put the sign of biggest number, that is plus 1x cube. Now this both are positive numbers, so simply do the addition and positive sign. Now again one is negative and one is positive, so subtract smaller from greater number and the greater number sign, plus 1x. Now again plus and minus, subtract smaller from greater and put the sign of greater number. This is the answer. Now look, you don't want to write. Now look, you must not add these powers here as x cube plus x cube as x raised to 6. It is wrong. That is x cube plus x cube. It is simply 2x cube because 1 is silent here and the answer is 2x cube. You don't want to add the powers of the variables. But if it was x cube into x cube, then before I told you, you will write x raised to 3 plus 3, that is 6. The answer is x raised to 6. X cube plus x cube is 2x cube. X cube into x cube is x raised to 6. X cube minus x cube is 0, like that. Or x cube divided by x cube is x raised to 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0, which is equal to 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. These are all some basics. Now we will learn more about polynomials. Before I told you poly means many and nomial means terms, and there is basic form for polynomials, and also there are different types of polynomials based on degree and number of terms. So you want to know what is a degree. Terms we have already checked. Now we want to look what is a degree of a polynomial. Degree means the highest power of given polynomial. I'll show you. 3x cubed plus 2x raised to 7 plus 8. This is a polynomial here, and the degree of the polynomial is the highest power, that is here 7. So this is a 7th degree polynomial. If it is 8x raised to 1 plus 5x square minus 9, then this is a 2nd degree polynomial. So degree is the greatest power. Now always try to write polynomials in powers descending order. That is first greatest power, then smallest power of it, like that. That is the general form of a 2nd degree polynomial will be ax raised to 2 plus bx plus c. Now we can look what are included in a polynomial. Here you can see a, b and c. These are all constants. Constants means their value will never change. Example, all the numbers. 5. The value of 5 is always 5. So a polynomial must have a constant. For example, the polynomial will be in the form 3x square plus 5x plus 2. Then these are all constants. Now this part is the variable. So a polynomial have a variable. And these are all terms. So a polynomial consists of terms. And in variables you can find these powers. Powers of variables. In the case of variable, we can name it as x, y, z, p, q, r, like that. And we can substitute values if needed or if asked. Here we can substitute value x as 1. Then we want to first name this polynomial as p of x, because this is a polynomial in x variable. That is why we have written here p of x. Otherwise, if it was y square and y here, then this will be p of y. Now, we want to find the value if y equal to 1. Then p of 1 is equal to 3 into this y becomes 1 here. We are substituting value of y as 1 plus 5 into 1 plus 2, that is 1 square is 1, 3 into 1 is 3 plus 5 plus 2, that is 10. Like that. So a value of the polynomial is the answer while we get after substituting a constant to the variable. Here we are substituting this constant value to this variable and we got the answer 10. So the value of this polynomial when y equal to 1 is 10. That is value of the polynomial. Now what about 0 of the polynomial? 0 of the polynomial means while substituting values, whenever you get the answer as 0 and the value which you substitute here will be the 0 of the polynomial. I will show you. P of x is equal to 2x plus 3. While I am substituting x is equal to minus 3 by 2, then this will be minus 3 by 2 here, p of minus 3 by 2, that is 2 into minus 3 by 2 plus 3. Here this will cancel, minus 3 plus 3, the answer is 0. So 0 of this polynomial is minus 3 by 2 because we got answer 0 here when we substitute the value of x as minus 3 by 2. So 0 of polynomial means whenever you are getting the answer 0, the value you substituted for that will be the 0 of the polynomial. So value of the polynomial is the answer while we substitute a value for p of x. But 0 of the polynomial is the value which we substitute to p of x, and whenever you get the answer as 0, that value is called 0 of the polynomial. Here, these are all value of polynomial. This is the value of the polynomial while you substitute 1. But for this polynomial, you get the answer 0 here while you substitute minus 3 by 2. Then 0 of the polynomial, this polynomial is minus 3 by 2. That is the difference between value of the polynomial and 0 of the polynomial. Now, polynomial consists of constant, variable, terms and powers of variables. Also, we can check the types of the polynomials based on degree of the polynomial. Before I told you degree is the greatest power. Now, if it is first degree polynomial, then it is called as linear polynomial, and the general form is ax plus b. Here the degree is 1. Now, if it is the degree is 2, it is called as quadratic polynomial. Here this is quadratic polynomial, ax square plus bx plus c. Now if it is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, then this is in the third degree, that is cubic polynomial. Now based on number of terms, we can have another names for polynomials. That is, if it is a single term polynomial, that is 3x or 3x raised to 4. This is having only one term, and this is a monomial. This is a monomial in fourth degree. Now, this is having two terms here, so this is binomial. If it is having three terms, it is trinomial. And more than three terms, we can name generally it as polynomial. That is so many terms. Now another thing is 6x square. Here this is the variable and this is the constant. The constant along with the variable is called as coefficient. So the coefficient of x square is 6. Here the coefficient of x is 3. So that is what coefficient means. The constant along with the variable is named as coefficient. Now for a third degree polynomial, that is cubic polynomial, general form will be ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Here this is the third degree, but remember here x cube's coefficient must not be 0. If a is 0, that is a is equal to 0, then it becomes 0x cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. This term will become 0 because 0 into any number you get the answer 0. So this term will be gone, then it is a second degree polynomial. So if a degree is given, the power of that degree, that is if it is third degree, then the power 3 in which the power is 3, that coefficient should never be 0. If it is second degree polynomial, here if you need it to be in the second degree, that is quadratic polynomial, you must check that x square's coefficient is never be 0. If it becomes 0, then it will turn to first degree polynomial, that is linear polynomial. So always check if degree is given, the coefficient along with that power must not be 0. If it is 0, then the whole term will become 0. Now we will check how many zeros are there in a polynomial. If it is linear polynomial, that is first degree polynomial, there will be in that polynomial we will get maximum 1 0. There are so many cases, maximum 1 0, or there will not be a 0 or infinite number of zeros. There are three conditions for linear polynomial: maximum 1 0, no 0, or infinite number of zeros. In quadratic polynomial, we will get maximum 2 zeros or less than 2 zeros. Now in a cubic polynomial, we will get maximum 3 zeros. I'll remind you once more about zero of a polynomial. Zero of a polynomial means when we substitute a value to that polynomial, the answer will be 0. For linear polynomial, there is only a single value. When we substituting, you will get the answer as 0. For quadratic polynomial, there are two different values for the same polynomial. You will get two different values. For each value, when we substitute, the answer will be 0. For cubic polynomial, we have three different values. When we substitute each value, the answer will be same 0. So that is about number of zeros for polynomials. Now, when we plot this in a graph, the linear polynomials graph will always be a straight line. That is for a linear polynomial. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Linear polynomial, we will always get a straight line. Linear polynomial is ax plus b general form. So y is equal to ax plus b. We will give a value for x, then you will get corresponding value for y. We will give another value for x, then you will get corresponding value for y, like that. When you plot it on the graph, you will get a straight line like this, or you will get another straight line like this, or you will get another straight line on the x-axis itself, like through the x-axis. This is what I told the conditions before. Here there is only 1 0. That is the point where it touches the x-axis. Here the straight line is not touching the x-axis, so there are no zeros. And here the straight line is lying on the x-axis. That is infinite number of zeros are there. These are three conditions of linear polynomial. Now, for quadratic polynomial, the general form is ax square plus bx plus c. Then when you substitute a value for x, here you will get corresponding value here y. Like that you will find 3 or more values. Then while you plot, you will get a parabola like this or like this. That is upward parabola or downward parabola. But there are 2 points passing through x-axis, so 2 zeros. Either you will get another graph is, this is x and y. You will get like this. Only single point is touching here. That is 1 0. Or the parabola will be lying here. So this is not touching on the x-axis. So like this. So always remember, a second degree polynomial's graph will always be a parabola shape. Now for cubic polynomial, it is a curve, simply like this. And in the x-axis, it touches on 3 points. So for linear polynomial, the graph will be a straight line. quadratic polynomial, the graph will be a parabola, and cubic polynomial, the graph will be a curve. And the zeros are number of points where the curve or the straight line is passing through the x-axis. If it touches the x-axis, that is the zero. If it is not touching the x-axis, then we can say there is no zero. If it is lying on the x-axis itself, in the case of linear polynomial, a straight line can lie on the x-axis itself. Then we can say there are infinite number of zeros.